Okay, we're recording. And I'm admitting people in that are in the waiting room. Fascinating, right? Right, Victoria? Okay.
Great job.
And this is, yeah. And this is one of those topics when I first looked at it, I thought, we're not going to be able to do an entire coaching call on just this. And the more I studied, the more I realized we absolutely can cover an entire coaching call. So here we go. Topic 18, pragmatic questions to ask. We're going to go to page 219. Actually, I'm going to go to page 218. So if you guys are following along at home, we're on page 218. If you want to highlight as I read, that's awesome. There's not going to be a lot today. Then we're going to go to figure 2 on page 219. And then I'm going to answer the question that I put out there on Facebook. Alex, by the way, I liked your response on that. Okay, so the transition from earn a million to net a million is fluid. Both stages drive off the same fundamental models. I had somebody comment on one of my YouTube videos from this call last week, and the comment was on coaching to $1 million GCI. And my reply is the model is the model. It's all scale. It just depends on what your goals are. You're going to look at lead generation. You're going to look at your lead generation model. You're going to look at the economic model and the organizational model, and you're just going to adjust based on where you're going. So training on how to earn $1 million selling real estate is the same training as how to earn $100,000 in real estate. Just scale the numbers. So all stages drive off the same fundamental models. That's not in the book. That's my note. All stages drive off the same fundamental models. Middle of the page. And for someone who can successfully implement and master these models, business can get very thrilling because they'll soon discover they have no known achievement limits for their career. So here's my first question for you guys. Where is your growth led? And I'm referring to your business. Where is your growth led? What are you capable of? Can you do more? Going over to page 219, Gary breaks this conversation down into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. Leads. Sustaining a solid lead generation program that consistently increases the number of leads. I'm going to hit mute all because we've got some background noise, but guys, remember if you want to talk, please take yourself off mute because otherwise I feel like I'm here all by myself. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. All right, sustaining a solid lead generation program that consistently increases the number of leads, tracking and converting leads through others, protecting your lead generation focus time, weighing your options, the process of discovering what works and what doesn't work. Listings, knowing the minimum number of seller listings you must list each month. For example, 2 listings a month equal 20 sellers closed. With a 50% conversion ratio, that's 4 listing appointments per month. Now, how many leads do you need in order to get 4 listing appointments per month? Listing the minimum number each month, getting sellers to accept the team concept. So let's pause on that for a second because this is a big myth with a lot of people. My clients only want to work with me. Your clients are not loyal to you. They're loyal to your standards. And when's the last time you went to Walmart and saw Sam Walton at the checkout stand? Are you still going to Walmart? Yes. Michael Topo's red shaking his head no. I love that. Okay, stop it, Michael. Your clients are loyal to your standards. Like everything else, it's a script. So getting your clients to buy into the team concept. If I'm listing someone's home, for example, and they also want me to work with them as their buyer's agent, my response to that is, I really appreciate the fact that you want to work with me. However, can I share with you why you're so much better in Victoria's hands? So I'm a listing specialist, and because I focus on listings, I'm really, really good at that. But that also means that I'm not so good with buyers. And you're going to be in much better hands with Victoria than you would with me. Besides, she is the master of the market that you want to purchase in for buyers. So simple, guys. You just have to have the conversation, and you have to get rid of the myth inside of your head that says your clients only want to work with you. When you have an admin team and your admin team is checking in with your clients, you've got a myth inside your head saying that your clients are not going to be happy because they're not hearing from you on a daily basis. Well, again, that's simply a script. Paige, if you hired an administrative assistant, your administrative assistant would call your seller, and this conversation is, thank you for taking my call. Paige asked me to give you a call. She wanted you to know blank. You're engaged. You're absolutely engaged. I'll give you one more and then we'll move on. Whenever I took a listing, I let the seller know, when you hear from blank, you're hearing from me. When blank communicates with you, I'm communicating with you. And the person I was referring to was always a member of my team. When you go to the doctor's office, your doctor doesn't greet you at the front desk and check you in, doesn't come in and check your vitals, doesn't check you out when you leave, doesn't mail you an invoice, doesn't call to confirm the appointment, and you're still going to see your doctor. You may love your doctor, but you're okay if the doctor has leverage. It's the same thing. You've got a business.
John, question for you.
Yes.
When you are handing off your client to your buyer specialist or your listing specialist, are you telling them, or will you follow up with them on a weekly basis to see how everything is going along? Or basically, once you hand them off, you don't really, you go to radio silence?
It really depends. It does. And the one thing that I would say is they have access to you, Alex.
Okay.
Right? And I'm always a phone call away if you have any questions, and you are in much better hands with Alex than you are with me. I promise you, because he is focused on working with sellers, because he only works listings. He and my team are going to do a much better job of representing you than I would. In 2002, Gary Ubaldini turned his listing business over to me. Never went on another listing appointment again. Until 2006, when I went out on my own and started my own team. So for a period of 4 years, we were selling more than 200 homes a year, and Gary Ubaldini of the Gary and Nikki team was not going on listing appointments anymore. If it worked for him, why wouldn't it work for you? All right, moving on. Under listings, consistently marketing your seller listings for more leads. So here's the next question I have for you. How many buyer leads should I receive from every seller listing taken? If you don't have a standard for that, then you're not going to pay attention. And if you're not getting buyer leads, you're going to be okay with that. You have to have a standard for this. When you take a seller listing, you should get at least two buyer leads, at least. You got to have a number. And by the way, 2 is low. I would say 2 a day. It's important that you understood what I just said. I didn't say that you should be getting 2 buyers who are going to work with you every day. I said you should be getting 2 buyer leads from that listing every day. Important that you understand that. Okay. Number 9, making the time to learn and implement RTCK, which stands the Recruit, Train, Consult, and Keep process. Hiring talent is super important. And as I'm giving you an answer to a question I'm going to ask you later, so pay attention. As your business grows, this becomes part of your 20%. Hiring talent. As your business grows, hiring talent becomes part of your 20%. When you're doing $2 million in business, you're not focused on hiring talent. When you get to $10 million in production, you are. When you get to $100 million in production, that might be the only thing you do. I hope you guys are getting that. All right, money. Sticking to the budget model and controlling your costs, super important. Have a budget, stick to the budget. When you want to spend money, and you're going to want to spend money, make the budget the bad guy. In other words, it's not in the budget. So the answer is no. All right, and then finally, you staying focused on your 20%, counterbalancing your life to maintain your energy at a high level. All right, so I want to share a picture with you, and we're going to have a conversation around this. I think we'll see. Wish me luck. No comments on how bad my screen looks or how many emails I have. 30,837. Yikes. Okay. Can you guys see the picture?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So Alex Kublikis says this is a play from the Miami Dolphins playbook in beating the San Francisco 49ers yesterday. Interesting. And okay. All right. So what this is this is how I saw page 219 of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. So the way my mind works, this is page 219. Now, let me explain that for a moment. Gary breaks the process down, the critical question process, into 5 key categories: leads, listings, leverage, money, and you. And on the left side of the screen, going from the bottom to the top, level 1, you're doing $2 million in production. You've got a business organizational model of 1. It's you. Level 2, you're at $10 million in production. You've added 2 administrative assistants. So my first question, Nadine, is if you're at $10 million in production, and you haven't hired 1 administrative assistant yet, if you're still running a level 1 business at a level 2 volume, how much money are you leaving on the table but by not investing money in leverage?
A lot, and you're exhausted.
Yeah. Okay. Good job. And, yeah, and I'm not picking on you. Well, I am, but whatever, get over it. Level 3.
I can take it. It's okay.
Yeah, I know you can. Level 3, you're at $20 million, and your organizational model is 3 administrative assistants with 2 buyer agents. Level 4, you're at $35 million in production. You've added an ISA, an inside sales associate, and a listing agent to your organizational model. And at level 5, you're at $85 million in production. By the way, that's the amount of production it's going to take to net $1 million. And now we're talking expansion. So here's my questions. How's my lead generation model evolving from level 1 through level 5? Now I want you guys to answer. Talk to me. How is your lead generation model evolving from level 1 through level 5?
There's more people involved in the lead generation, whether even if it's like, for example, for me, now I've just started doing open houses again, now that that's opened up a little bit more. Yeah. And I have people helping me with those open houses. So from that, more leads are coming in from every open house. And the follow-up of those open houses is key.
There you go. So Nadine, is it going to take more leads to do $10 million in volume than it did $2 million in volume, assuming your average price is $300,000? Because I know there's somebody going to be on here that's going to say, well, you could sell one $10 million property. Stop it. That's not my point. Is it going to take more leads?
Yes.
Okay, and you can be responsible for all of those leads, or you can create more leads through leverage.
Correct.
Yeah, right. Here's the next question. Do you know, and this is not to just Nadine, this is not pick on Nadine Day, guys. Do you know how many leads you need at level, one second, guys. Do you know how many leads you need at level 1? Do you know how many leads you need at level 2, level 3, level 4, and level 5? You should know the answer to that. All right, next question. How many seller listings do I need at level 3 if my business is 50-50 with an average price of 300,000? That question's been up there for a few minutes. So somebody with a calculator, I bet, has already gotten the answer to that question. You guys didn't know we were in math class today, did you? Well, what's the answer? How many seller listings do I need with an average price? Assume all of them are going to sell with an average price of $300,000 if my business is 50-50. Level 3 is $20 million in volume. That means $10 million is coming from the listing side. Take $10 million and divide it by 300,000.
33, John.
There it is. Say it again, Michael, please.
33.
33. There it is. Now, are all of your seller listings going to sell? Maybe, maybe not. And I'm going to use 75% because that's the number Gary told me to use. So Michael, if you would take 33 and divide it by 0.75. Take 33 divided by 0.75.
44. Call it 45, John.
So you're going to need 45 seller listings. There's your answer. Define leverage.
Something that makes it easier to pull the weight.
Okay.
Focusing on 20%.
Focusing on 20%. There are no wrong answers to this question. You guys are not answering because you're afraid I'm going to say wrong. There are no wrong answers to this question. What type of leverage do you want to hire? The answer to that question would be it depends, by the way. But go ahead and answer. Tell me what your answer is.
John, I think about the 4 quadrants that we've spoken about.
Yeah.
Right, those 4 areas or whatever, where you want to be like important but not urgent.
Yeah. Quadrant 2. No.
Right. So when I think of leverage,
quadrant
I think
2.
kind of operating in that area.
Good job. So I'm looking for potential or proven talent, number 1. I'm looking for somebody who has already proven that they're successful in the role that I want to hire them to. That's proven talent. Or I'm looking for someone who has done another job that's similar to the job I'm hiring them for, and they succeeded at a high level in that role. That's potential. I'm also looking for capacity talent versus cul-de-sac talent. Capacity talent has the ability to grow within my organization. My lead admin has the potential to become the CEO of my real estate business. My listing specialist, or my lead listing agent, has the potential to grow into the director of expansion. Capacity talent. All right, here's the next question. What's the most important ingredient? What's the most important? I can't talk today, guys. What's the most important ingredient from $2 million to $85 million? Be careful, this is a trick question. You want to say lead generation, don't you? The answer is hiring talent. That's it, hiring talent. The one thing that's going to get you from $2 million to $85 million is hire talent. And by the way, that's the answer to the question at the bottom of the page. How does your 20% change from level 1 through level 5? Focus on hiring talent. All right, day 29. Take yourself off mute. Talk to me. What'd you hear?
Hire talent.
Hire talent. Nadine, if that's all you got today from today's call, you did great. You did great. You did great. Nisi, am I pronouncing your name right? I hope so.
Yes.
Nisi Draper. So I get it. Your appointments are virtual. They're still appointments, 100%. So if the real estate industry shifted to 100% virtual forever, if it never went back to face-to-face appointments, we would get really, really good at virtual appointments, wouldn't we? The answer is yes.
Yes.
Would we continue to sell houses? The answer is yes.
Absolutely.
There you go. Love it. All right, guys, talk to me. What'd you hear?
Could be at least getting 2 leads for every seller listing.
Oh, yeah.
A day.
Thank you, Michael. You guys are leaving so much money on the table because you're so excited that you got a listing and it sold fast. I'm reading Facebook and I see post after post after post after post of real estate agents who are getting listings and selling it in a day, and they're celebrating. And I'm going, no, stop it. That's not the goal. The goal is, yes, sell it for top dollar. Yes, sell it fast and leverage those listings for more opportunity.
John, I think we should just do a call on that.
Interesting.
Right.
Michael,
So-
would you write that down? Because we've got 6 more days to get through the 24 topics of the MREA, and I would be more than glad to come back to that. Yeah, love that. Yeah, and I agree, by the way. We could do a call just on that. What would your business look like if you double-ended, double-sided, double-dipped half of every seller listing you took? By the way, do you know what the national average is? This is important because sellers are hiring you thinking that you're going to bring the buyer. I promise that's what they're thinking. Right? On average, 5% of the time the listing agent brings the buyer. 5%. 95% of the time, there's 2 agents in the transaction. All right, give me one more aha before I let you guys go. One more.
Hi, I have an aha.
Thank you, Victoria.
Clients loyal to your standards, the conversation of if you are the rainmaker, the brand of the team, and you have the conversation with the client around, John is the person you're going to speak with, and he is your person, and that client is, sold on that they're going to be speaking from that point further. They build that loyalty and understanding that and the leverage that you're going to create of who the team is, who is your go-to person. You free yourself from that attachment that they always have to speak to you. They know that they have their people who they can call.
Love that. Good job. Good job. Thank you. Couple really good examples other than Walmart. Walt Disney. Anybody who's ever been to Walt Disney, other than standing in lines for an hour and a half to go on Space Mountain, has had an incredible positive experience. And none of you have run into Walt Disney when you're at Walt Disney. It's the experience. 100%. Ryan Pierre, how do you leverage your buyers in order to get more listings? Circle prospect, call a neighborhood, circle prospect. The reason I'm reaching out to you today is because there's no inventory and I have a buyer that's interested in great homes like yours. Just out of curiosity, who do you know that might be interested in selling their home? Also, market your buyers through social media. In other words, put a post on Facebook. I have a buyer who's looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage home with a pool in Coral Springs, priced between $450,000 and $500,000. If you know of anybody that's interested in selling their home, contact me. All right, guys, it's time to get to work. Let's work. 20 contacts, not 19, not 18. If you settle for 17 and you stop because it's close enough, the 18th contact could have been $1 million listing that you didn't get because you didn't make the call. Focus on care calls, not sale calls. We're building relationships. We're also focused on getting 1 appointment a day with someone who's thinking of buying or selling our home. Doesn't matter if it's in the next 30 days, next 6 months, or a year from now, because you need listings a year from now. There are no bad leads, just bad real estate agents who don't follow up. The key to success is follow up forever. Reject rejection, and no is not a word that lives in your vocabulary. And make it a great day, everybody.
Thank you, John.
John.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, John.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for the privilege of your time.
Thank you.
Yes.